As part of preparations for the launch of the CFTA, the African Union did hold a business forum. Now, this essentially provides a platform to debate views from different perspectives on the continent's economic challenges and opportunities. The International Trade Center does focus on enabling small and medium-sized enterprises in developing economies to become a lot more competitive and to scale up, and they were part of the discourse. Uche Okoronkwo sat down with its executive director, Arancha González, to find out how she thinks this ambitious deal could change things for the better.
CFTA will be good to create one market, reduce obstacles to regional value chains, tariff obstacles, and the most important part that starts now with the implementation of this agreement is non-tariff obstacles to regional trade, which in my view will be the real catalyzer to generate more productive activities in this continent.
Now, leaders here are saying they want to leverage on the power of the private sector in order to drive integration. In order to hear that, we need to see some policy coherence. So what do you hope to see from Africa's leaders?
The question is now putting all this good vision into action. From a business point of view, it has to do with understanding that 98–99% of businesses in this continent are small, medium enterprises. Actually, they are micro, small and medium enterprises. A lot of them are in the micro sector. And these entrepreneurs are extremely sensitive to trade costs. The higher the costs, the less they trade, the less they go across borders. So if the CFTA, and when the CFTA rather is implemented, it will reduce the cost of doing business. And reducing the cost of doing business would mean a premium for micro, small and medium enterprises to construct these regional production networks that will generate the jobs and will bring the growth and through that the prosperity to this continent.
But how does private business and certainly small and medium enterprises ensure that they take advantage of the opportunities that the CFTA has to offer?
One of my pleas in this business forum is to ensure there is trade intelligence, trade information, market information that is pushed down, that is made available to these micro, small and medium enterprises so that they can understand where the opportunities lie. CFTA creates opportunities. What we need to do now is to make sure that businesses understand where the opportunities lie. Secondly, businesses will need better business networking. This is the continent where business is more disaggregated, is more atomized, where less, let's say, formal or informal networks exist. This is an area where the International Trade Center is working a lot. It's in putting together trade and investment promotion organizations to build networks that will, in a way, put together naturally the enterprises that will end up generating this production networks. 3, it has to be beyond a good business environment, a conducive business environment. It also requires financing. There is a sore lack of access to capital and credit for SMEs in this continent. And this is something that we need to pay very specific attention to, because if we do not connect MSMEs to capital and credit, if there is not available and affordable capital and credit, CFTA would just be a paper on which lots of people have signed on to.
Let's take over live to Kigali now. Uche Okoronkwo, of course, is in the Rwandese capital. She's been covering the African Union summit on the CFTA. Uche, today's focus is all on the private sector. The firms, of course, will benefit from this deal. What do companies over there make of this proposed deal? Are they optimistic that they will see widespread adoption of the CFTA?
Well, Rama, despite all the negative buzz around the signing of this continental free trade area, the private sector seemed quite upbeat today. So did policy makers. Now, they did discuss quite a number of issues today, such as developing a pan-African settlement and a payment system. They discussed trade financing. They discussed the role of of technology. They discussed tailored solutions for the continent, such as initiatives like the From Maiden in Africa to Made for Africa. They also talked about solving issues such as youth unemployment as well as gender inequality. Now, of course, the discussion was all about leveraging the power of the private sector to sort of drive integration on the continent forward. And I think the aim today for most delegates on ground was to develop partnerships and certainly synergies between policymakers and the private sector. And some pretty hard hitters were present today at the conference. We saw President Kagame, of course, opening the conference. We saw President of Niger, Mahamadou Issoufou, who, of course, is also a champion for the African continental free trade area process, present. We saw Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa also participating in those discussions today. From the private sector, hard hitters like Strive Masiyiwa, who of course is the chairperson of Econet, and Ashish Takar from the Mara Group, all discussing these issues today.
Indeed. We'll leave it there for the time being. Thank you for that. That's Uche Okoronkwo live in Kigali. Of course, expect more updates from the Rwandese capital on the CFTA, of course, in the course of the week.